The number one reason why the next or younger generation are walking or running away, walking away from Christianity is because of what? Because of hypocrisy. That's why we try to understand what are the differences or what are the different generations that time, okay? We try to appreciate their strength and we try to understand their weaknesses, and we have to honor the previous generation and also invest intentionally to the next generation. Remember the acronym I gave you that? If we want to invest and save the generations next to us, we have to model Christ-likeness to them. We have to model what it means to be a Christian to them, okay? What we say doesn't match how we live it, right? That's why it's so hard for them to understand. There's a huge disconnect between what you're saying and what you're living, what you're showing. So we have to make sure we are modeling it. That's why that's our topic for the first message of the series. The second message of the series, we talk about questions, okay? There is a number 2 reasons why the younger generation are running away from Christianity is because of unanswered question. But it's not really about the question. There is something behind that question, and I think it's the open conversation that they're longing with their parents, with their friends, with their loved ones. That's why in message number 2, we talk about the power of questions. Not only we address hard topics, hard questions, but it is really about sitting down, spending time, and having this open communication with our loved ones. Questions don't destroy relationships. They are actually invitations to deepen relationship. Only and only if we create a space for open communication. And that's what we learned last week. Now, today, we're going to go deeper. And there is something different that I want to share with you today. Something that does not only affect the younger generation or some generations, but I think this affects all of us. All of us. And if we are not careful, this thing will take us all down. How many of you, or how many of us here, spend more time on our screens this week than with God? Don't raise your hands. Because all of our hands will be, all of us are guilty. Huh? No judgment. Because I'm also in that group. And that's what we're going to talk in the third message of our series. Screen versus soul. And while I was preparing this, I was really convicted at the same afraid. If we will not really do something about this, we not only affect us, but we will lose the next generation. So as we dive into this message, I really hope and pray that we'll allow God to talk to us. We'll just humbly and have the teachable heart to really listen to what God is trying to tell us. Okay?
Oh, we are back now, 8:14, with our ongoing series focusing on screen time.
Yeah, well, this morning there's new science to share. A look inside the brain when it is exposed to these devices. As researchers in Ohio are pioneering a study. It involves hundreds of children. They've been following them since birth.
Ooh, fascinating. NBC's Vicki Wynn's here with more. We want to hear, Vic.
I'm so glad we kicked off this series and that we're continuing to follow it. Good morning to you at home. Think about it this way. A child born in 2007 will never know a world without smartphones. Then you add in the time spent in front of TVs, tablets, computers, and you can see how quickly those screen time hours add up. Well, now researchers want to know how all of this screen time is affecting the brains of our children.
All right, only super special kids get to come back here.
Here at Cincinnati Children's Hospital, Rose Crimer is one of 395 children taking part in the early prediction study, which began in 2019. Today, the 5-year-old is pretending she's the captain of a submarine, an exercise to help her lie still for a 45-minute MRI that will take detailed images of her brain.
7, 8, 9, 10. Good job. Okay.
With the help of some goggles playing the movie Trolls and headphones to blunt the loud machine,
Can you see the screen all right?
Researchers take multiple scans and compare them to the images they took when she was just a few days old.
This is a brain?
This is a brain.
Dr. Nahal Parikh is leading the study looking at the brains of premature babies from birth through childhood to understand how they're affected by different risk factors, including exposure to screens.
What does this image tell you?
It tells us a lot when we correlate it with these exposures such as screen time and we correlate it with development. It tells us whether or not those things are having an impact.
Parents Emily and Harry Kreimer signed up their baby girl Rose for the study.
Do you think there's a difference in TV screen time, like what we had growing up, and what they're exposed to on phones or iPads?
Phones and iPads so much more engaging for children, and especially if they can control it, so it's easier for them to just zone out.
Dr. John Hutton is at the forefront of this fast-developing field, and he's published several studies that already suggest higher levels of screen time can impact a child's growth. One result that keeps showing up: parts of the brain related to reading, language, and decision-making are often weaker in kids who have more screen time. So what are parents and caregivers to do? These experts say try not to introduce any screen time before age 3.
There's so many things we make kids wait to do in our society. We make them wait to drink beer, we make them wait to vote, we make them wait to have a gun. But for some reason, we're not doing the same thing with these very powerful devices that give access to all the contents related to all those things.
You think screen time is the new tobacco?
It's been compared to it, yeah. I mean, and actually, parents using cell phones with their kids has been compared to secondhand smoke.
But experts say we can stop the scrolling and screen time.
No YouTube, no phones, no iPads, even when they say they're educational.
Yes, because we don't really know that they're educational.
And what we do matters more than what we say.
What is your advice for parents who worry it's too late, they've let the cat out of the bag?
You can back it up, and you can back it up in the moment.
Meaning you should model the behavior you want to see.
Do you think parents are aware that they are part of the problem in terms of how addicted they are to their screens?
You can, notice, oh, I've got my cell phone, my child's not responding, they're upset, put it away and reorient and just help that child feel like you are there for them.
Parents are a child's first and most important teacher. That's why it's so important that things that are shared experiences like reading and playing with toys, they can interact back and forth with language and feelings and emotions, and that's when good things happen with kids.
Good things Rose and her family hope researchers will learn to help us shape our views on these devices.
The important thing is to interact with your kids and talk to them, and that's how they learn language, and they don't always get that feedback from the screen.
All right, so Vicki, that was, first of all, that was fascinating.
Yeah, I'm so happy these researchers are doing
Okay,
this.
now, so let's say a parent does all the right things, but their kid goes to school and they have screens because that's the way it works now with schools.
Yeah, a viewer posted this question to me on Instagram this morning saying, what do we do about screen time in schools? There was such a migration to it, right, during the pandemic and because of remote learning. Yeah. But it's okay to dial it back. It's okay to talk to your child's teachers, the school leaders, and say, how many hours are our kids on these screens in the classroom? Why are they getting iPads in kindergarten? Can they do math worksheets in real life? Can they read an actual book instead of reading on the screens? It is important for everyone, these experts say, to reassess how much screen time our kids are getting in the classroom,
Some of them say it's because the testing later comes on screens and they want the kids to get used to it, because we asked that at our school.
Sure, and they can, but starting in kindergarten
is crazy.
Thinking they're not going to have exposure?
Yeah.
It's like you, without even trying, you have exposure.
Yeah, you're right.
I think we're good there.
I love what they said about the parents also being the best example.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I think sometimes parents think, oh, they're experts, they're YouTube videos, this is going to teach my kid. And we get it. Sometimes you need time to, make dinner. Maybe sit your kid in front of a Sesame Street episode. That's different than watching endless social media videos.
Oh, yeah. But by the way, also all of us were like looking at our phones. They said it was like secondhand smoke.
That was a good line.
Yeah.
Now let that sink in for a moment. I'm gonna be sharing truths, but I want to share truths with love. And I know more than 50% of our church populations by our demographic are young parents. If your child is crying, what you used to do? Cell phone. If you want to do something that you don't want to be distracted, iPad. I'm guilty. All of us are guilty. And that's what we need to address. if we really want to invest and save the next generation, we have to do something today. And that is just one of the many research. But before I proceed, I love your kids, I love your babies, but please respect the people. So please, if your kids, you can stay, but if your kids are crying or whining, please go outside now, or dito, there is a speaker there outside. You can sit there, you can stand there by carrying your baby. But it is really important that we will not be distracted because we're talking about distractions, okay? So if you have babies, please stand outside, or there is a room here, and we have some speaker there outside too for you to still connected with us. Let's go back. That is just one of the studies conducted in many studies about screen time. And Dr. John Hutton is the one that really conducted this study. He talked about the screen time, what the screen time does to our brain. He's a pediatrician and a researcher at that hospital that was mentioned in the video. He conducted the research. Actually, it's not only 300 plus kids, but it's about more than 300,000 kids that has been used to talk about what's the association between screen-based media. It's okay, guys, okay? I love kids. I have 2 little boys. Don't worry about that. We love them. But thank you so much. The association between screen-based media and our brain. And that's their study. They want to talk about what's going on, especially to undeveloped or developing brains of young people or young kids. They use MRI, they use CT scan of thousands and hundreds of thousands of children, and this is what they found. Excessive screen time for kids causes brain damage. This is what they call it something, a cell that's in our brain, that if we put screen time to ages 0 to 3, that cell, part of the brain, is actually deteriorating and missing when they grow up. Not to mention the loneliness, the anxiety, the insomnia, depression. In the past 10 years of this study, psychological distress increases to 74.6% for girls and 55.9% for boys. Mental illnesses or mental health illness climb up to 134% increase in anxiety and 106% increase in depression. Hospitalization for mental health increases 81% for girls, from 40% to 51% for boys. Self-harm for kids, particularly teenagers. For kids ages 10 to 12, going to teenagers, increases 360, this is 10 years gap, 364.5% for girls and 155.3% for boys. And mind you, I know you have a problem. Some of you have to turn off your internet because your teenager son or your teenager daughter is not sleeping properly. Because what? They keep on playing. You keep on scrolling. And this increased to 48% for girls and 42% for boys in that 10 years. And they spend less time with their friends, and it goes down from 40 to 24% for girls and 30% for boys. And this is very alarming. And smartphone is part of our system. It's iPad, computer. It's part already of our lifestyle. You know what? Before, you cannot leave home without what? Wallet. This one, you cannot leave home without your smartphone. Right? It's part of us already. On one interview, the journalist asked Dr. John Hutton. This is the question. Dr. John, what is your fear if we don't address this? And this answer is chilling. My fear is losing a generation of kids. Those kids are growing up not meeting their potentials. And the rise of self-harm, body image disorder, anorexia, bulimia, and all other mental health problems that was mentioned during our mental health series. And this is scary. And this means we need to do something today. or else we lose the next generation. The highlights of Dr. Hutton's research is this. It says that early brain development is optimized by human interaction, not by digital stimulation. We should not let our screens disciple our kids. It's human interaction. Your kids need you. And that's why whenever I have dedication, I always emphasize the 0 to 6% age is very crucial because that's their formative years. They need you, not your iPhone or your iPad. They need your presence, not digital stimulation. And then Dr. Hutton encourages parents to foster a low-tech, meaning books, crayons. Remember with us? We justify the use of screens because that's educational. I agree with that. I'll address that later. Nico learned his math from mommy, of course. But what helps that one? Number blocks. Number blocks. But of course, we limit the screen time. It's educational. And there are benefits. Don't get me wrong, there are benefits. But Dr. Hutton encourages, because he studied it. There are it's a fact-based study. So early literacy must be encouraging the parents to have a low-tech. Let them draw. Let them explore things. Don't use screens. iPhones, don't use laptops. Don't use desktop. Don't use TV. Okay? So, now, but let's just be careful. This is not just a kid's problem. Let's be honest. Kids are not the only one affected to screens. We, adults too, are guilty and in danger of being addicted to screens. Let me break this down, okay? Ages 1 to 3, ideally, no screens. Can you read that? Can you still read that, right? Can you see that from there? Clyde? No screens. But the reality is, they're already exposed to screens. I leave this place blank because there's the impact to personal and interpersonal or relational when we will not do the ideal. Ages 4 to 12, many of our kids, they're supposed to have 3 to 4 hours a day. Just to recreational screen time. They watch in the TV or they can use their phone, but you're not supposed to give phones to your kids until 13 years old. You're not supposed to give that phone. Kale have his phone, but it's mine. It's obviously mine. And you can only access that, not for playing. I monitor the apps, but for communication. Only Friday night until Sunday night. So he would ask me, Dad, I'm done with my homeschool on Friday. Can I borrow my phone? Whose phone is this? Your phone. Oh, yeah. And then he would surrender it Sunday night. Okay? Now, but he must finish everything. He cannot use his phone on Saturday. If he needs to clean his room first, clean the house first, and do whatever we ask them to do. But you have to limit that to 3 to 4 hours a day for this bracket. But what's the reality today? Your kids, parents, I see your kids, and we always say this, don't take your phones or iPad in the church. I think Principal Aiko already addressed that to the parents of the kids. Don't bring your iPhones and iPads with your kids in the church. The church is supposed to have interaction with people. You're teaching them to interact, to socialize, to improve their interpersonal skills. What they're doing? Ganyan ba siya? Ganun lahat. Now, that's dangerous. And I was surprised one day, some people sit there, they have their laptop. Wow! Solid ka bro, punta ka sa you go to the cafeteria. You have to be disciplined enough And you have to discipline your kids. That's not good. Later, I love you. I know, they will not show the. I love you guys. I love you. I have to tell you this. God will hold me accountable if I will not tell you this. Okay? Jeff, why did you not? Do we lose the next generation? Then, because you did not tell them. Okay. Love you and I have to tell you this. The reality is we let them stay, scroll, iPad, TV, compute, calculate that, accumulate that. That's screen time. 13, teenagers. Teenagers, my goodness. Yes, you have your own idea. You are strong enough now. You can make your own decisions. But your parents must be your teachers and mentors and guides. When they say, sleep, turn off the lights, you justify, later. Clean your room, after this game. Diba? Son, daughter, diba? Sweetie, sweetheart, and you open the door, later, mom, later. Mga teenagers, disiplina kayo. What's the reality? This one is already for the educational, not recreational. But what's happening? You allow them 8 to 10 hours. Then you complain. And then you baby them. Oh, because my baby, teenager, don't want him or her to be mad at me. Let him or her play. You know what? It's okay to deal with the problem short term now than suffer long term. I would rather sacrifice 10 years of molding my kids than suffer 50 years of being disrespectful, disobedient to authority, and dishonest person. And that's why, we care so much for these kids. I don't want these kids to... Then what happened? When they reach teenagers, when they have their own family, they're not disciplined. Grabe, no? Unfiltered. I love you, man. I'm telling you, I love you so much. Now, this is for us. 19 up. We're supposed, this 7 to 8 hours a day is about, I work in the office. I have my laptop and my computer open for 8 hours. That's it. If I'll add the phone, right, and the TV while watching hockey, my goodness, I remember hockey. Lose hockey, man. Better luck next time, okay? But it's okay. Montreal win tonight. We'll win tonight. We reached to 11 to 12 hours plus. And then, in the middle of the night, when we're sleeping, we grab our phone again. 11, 13, 14, until we sleep. Okay, that's happened. I know, this is everyone's struggle, and I myself is struggling with all these digital things that we have in our hands. The notifications, the noise of distractions, even when making messages. You know what? I make my message not in my notes, but in my computer. I'm so dependent with screens and technology and all the distractions. My goodness, I have to deal with it. I have to have a break. After 2 hours of research and preparing a message, I have to stand, walk around, or else I'll be scanning my Facebook and I'll be watching NHL games or any other sports, especially this is playoffs today, right? So I myself, like you, and you as parents, we are parents too, are also dealing and struggling with all of this. But one thing I realize, it is not only affecting the kids, it is also affecting all of us. And it's not only affecting our productivity, the tasks, the delayed or unfinished tasks because of screen times. Your clothes are already accumulating for the laundry because screen time, right? And it's already done in the laundry, but it's not folded because of screen time, right? I'm also struggling. We also struggle with that. But the whole point is not only affecting our productivity, but also affecting our relationship. And last week I said, questions build relationships. But today, I want to add this. Distractions. I want to add to this one. Distractions destroy them. When I say distractions, screen times. Screen times. Do you know how screens are affecting us today? Not only personally, but relationally. Or not only personal, but also interpersonal. Let me show you this. If we allow, since we allow, ideally, no screens. But since your kids, you let them expose at an early age, 0. Peppa Pig, no? Blippi. What else? Oh. And then while they're eating, delayed speech and language development. Can you read that? If you cannot read that, we will post that in no. Reduce eye contact and emotional bonding. You know what you're saying? Diba? Sir, did you? Diba? And they cannot speak. There's some. Why they're delayed? No, actually they can speak. British pa, no? No. Peppa Pig, well, how was that? You don't understand. Where did you get that? Of course, I will. It's like Scooby-Doo, Scooby-Doo. And then they have the difficulty forming secure attachment with parents. Attachment with parents. Because they are very attached with their screens. Instead of faces, what they're seeing? Screens. That's why they're not looking eye to eye with the person they're talking. And sometimes it develops. And after 3, what happened? Disrespectful. They will not even greet. If we will allow and not address this reality, shorter attention span, distraction, increased irritability and emotional outbursts, whining. Many cases today, right? 7-year-old son shoot his mom. Why? Because mom took the iPad. You research it. There's a lot of cases in America and Canada. Right? Less imaginative play and creativity. Why? Screen. What about the Roblox? Okay, fine. Roblox. It's good. What do you call that one again? Can you help me? Like engineering thing? Minecraft, no? Oh, it helps. But the thing is, it's addictive. I will not explain the part, but you know, right? The part, right? If you are involved in that screen, there's something that you need to do. There is a reward, and after that reward, there's another thing that you need to open. It's like watching episodes, right? When some of you adult, right? You watch Mara Clara before, right? After Mara Clara, what happened next? Or Pangako Sa'yo, no? We have this, in the Philippines, we have some, what do you call that one? Teleserye. You have to eat early because it starts at 6:30. At 6:30, you have to stay there and watch what will happen, right? And there's no YouTube that time, okay? And that's why they have to anticipate every night. Wow, they have to prepare everything and sit down and watch. That's the same thing with screen time, right? You have to finish this episode and then you can't stop it, but there's an urge that you have to watch for another episode. In computer, there's a reward. You have to unlock this part. And then after you unlock this part, there's another thing you have to unlock. And then after that, it never ends. Right? And that's why, dangerous, that part. Okay? Reduce quality time with family. Many kids today are spending time with screens, not with their family. You try to check it. How many times your kids are spending time with you? Calculate it in 24 hours. 8 hours, probably sleep, 7 to 8 hours, sleep. School, 8 hours. 8 hours remaining. 4 hours of that, screen. 2 hours, probably family. If we will not address this reality. Another one, teenagers, 13 to 18. If you will not do something with your habits, if you will not do something with how you live today, anxiety, depression, and comparison on social media will hit you. In those cases, will lead to what? Self-harm. Will lead to depression. identity confusion and low self-worth, sleep disruption, late night scrolling, right? You have to remove your blue light. If you can, you have to remove your cell phone from your bed. Less real-life friendship, more digital interaction. It's so weird, this generation. No, not saying you're weird, okay? That generation, I'm just saying is, because of screens, right? They're so engaged. But my people, nonchalant. Yeah. Hi, how are you? I'm good. Yeah. But it's so funny. It's so funny that. It's so funny. Diba? Less interaction with people, but interaction with screens. No? They are connected online, but they are disconnected in real life. Now, what about us adults? If we will not address this, if we continue to live this reality, constant distractions and reduced focus, shallow relationship, you're present physically, but you're absent mentally. And then what? Decrease is spiritual sensitivity because screen, cell phone. What are you doing, cell phone? Play chess. Okay, that's good. That's good. Play chess. Candy Crush. What else? Street Fighter, Super Mario. Increased stress, comparison, and dissatisfaction. You know the feeling that you're present in the room, but you're absent in the moment? That's because of screen time. And this is a sad reality, and we need to do something about this. We need to do something about this. Or else we're going to lose the next generation. The next generation. And whom God will hold accountable? Not me. God will hold me accountable for my kids. But you parents, God will hold you accountable for your kids. Why did you allow for your kids, ages 3 down, to be exposed daily? Ages 12 down, to be exposed 5 to 7 hours. Ages 8, and so on. Because God, that's the trend. Listen, the enemy doesn't need to destroy you if he can just distract you. If he can distract you from your time with God, if he can distract you from a meaningful conversation with your parents, with your kids, with your loved ones, if he can distract you from pursuing the purpose that God called you, if the enemy can distract you from what really matters most, he doesn't need to destroy you in one moment. He just need to let you scroll one at a time. You know what? I'm not really doing anything. You are. And the enemy got you already by scrolling one at a time. If the enemy can control your attention, he can influence your direction. If the enemy can control what you're looking, what you're watching, where your attention is, he can control the direction or influence the direction of your life. That's why Paul said, set your mind and focus habitually. Focus, it's internal. Focus, sharp, focus. Habitually means it's intentional. This means that this is not a one-time decision. This is a daily decision. It's going to be a discipline, a habit. We don't accidentally scroll for hours. We trained our focus to scroll for hours. And Paul gives us 2 directions. Would you focus your mind on the things above or on the things in the earth, earthly things below? Things above are eternal. That will affect you personally and your interpersonal relationship. Things on earth are temporal, fleeting, rewarding but distracting. It will not lead you to eternal reward or spiritual or life-giving purpose that God wants you to pursue. That's why Paul said, keep your focus, set your mind, fix your eyes, set your focus habitually. Most of us don't have a sin problem. Most of us here don't have adultery problem, don't have a immorality problem, murder problem, a slander problem, or other personal obvious sin. But most of us have a focus problem. If your focus is always on what's temporary, don't be surprised that your soul will be empty. Let me repeat. If your focus is on temporary things, temporal pleasure, after hours of scrolling, oh, I forgot, I have to do this. Oh, I forgot, I have to do this. I have to call this. I have to set an appointment here. I have to do some household. Oh, don't be surprised that your soul will be empty. If you focus on temporary. And the truth is, what captures your attention will shape your direction and will take you not to your desired destination. And whatever gets your attention gets your life. What we fix our eyes on forms our soul. And the reality is we don't have a time issue. Stop saying, I don't have time. All of us has given time equal. We have a focus issue. Not time issue. Time, you manage it. But where you really spend chunk of your time. So it's not about time issue. It's about focus issue. Now, let me give you some practical tips on how to keep our focus properly. What is the instruction of Paul? Paul said, hey, set your mind, fix your eyes, and focus habitually. How? Let me give you practical steps. First one, filter your inputs. Not everything deserves access to your mind. We must limit social media. Some of you, di ba? You have what? Social media, what? Time limit. And some of you limit your time to 10 hours. Is it allowed? I don't know. Yeah? I remember someone, no, they limit their time because they're addicted. So, but you can access, you can unlock it with your own password, right? So what they did, they asked their wife or asked their partner, can you set the password that I don't know? So when he got his limit, you need to court your wife. Again, do you want Starbucks? Can you unlock for another hour? Right? Now be intentional with what you're watching. If you watch series, expect that you will really follow the series. That's why we have series. Message series here, because I want you to follow the series. Right? You get it? Wow, you have message series? Yeah, because I want you to follow. When you are here the first Sunday, that means I want you to finish until 4 Sundays. The same with Netflix, Disney, YouTube. If you watch one series, yeah, you'll be hooked. That's our pastime. We watch Prison Break. That's our time. You don't know that one, huh? House. House. What else? Grey's Anatomy. Dr. House, no? What else do we watch about? A lot. We watch a lot, no? 24. Jack Bauer. We watch all those episodes and we're hooked. And if you, be careful, filter your inputs. It's a waste of time. It's a waste of time. No? You can ask question. Is what I'm watching feeding my faith or draining my faith? Because, remember the instruction, fix your eyes, set your focus on things above. Are the things or the series or the things that I'm watching are draining my faith or feeding my faith? Or are the things I'm watching really setting on above or earthly things? Eternal or temporal? What you consume consistently will control you eventually. So filter what access your mind. Second one, open your Bible before your phone. I think I've addressed this last time, right? I addressed this at the first series of this year when I talk about renewing your minds. Huh? The first voice you must hear in the morning is the most important thing. And it must be from God, not from whatever you are, the reels or the drama series. No? Before checking your notification, at least you read one passage, one chapter, or one paragraph. 5 to 10 minutes of no distractions. Just meditate on that. I think that's so helpful. Use Bible app. You have your Bible app, right? And it's actually the U version, right? Or the Bible app. You can discuss it with your life group. Where are you now? And you can have a group reading time. Meaning, you have to do something. You have to do something. Number 3, create quiet moments. Now, God often speaks. He did. But in quiet moments. The thing is, we live in a world with constant noise. And if we really not quiet our soul for at least 5 to 10 minutes, we would not hear God. I feel you. Right after you wake up, what do you do? Rush. Diba? You shower right away. After shower, run. Or you don't shower, you just then go, right? Then go to Tim Hortons or McDonald's and then buy coffee or whatever and then work. After work, what happened? Back home. Household chores, prepare dinner back. After dinner, you have to catch for another appointment or whatever, right? But you have to be intentional for creating quiet moments. Try to have 5 minutes to 10 minutes. No music, no phone. Just you and God. Just hear your breath. Just sit, still, and relax. Then listen to God. If you will not slow down, you will never hear God. And I am a very fast person. I want moving. And I realized that if I will not slow down, all I would hear is myself. All I would hear is what I want to do. Next one. Unplug regularly. I like this one. You don't need to be available all the time. You don't need to. Jesus, the King of the world, the King of heavens and earth, the Son of God. There's no social media at the time. But what the Bible says, they often saw him withdrew from the crowd. He would like to unplug himself. It's just 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, just unplug yourself. On the weekends, I made to the point that I will use my phone for communication purposes only. Messenger, email, text messages, call, but not social media. Yeah. Sometimes, for probably 30 minutes. But I would want to make it a point. If I don't need to. I just want to use it for communication purposes. How to unplug? Let me give you something. Can you remove phone, I said it already, on a dinner table? Unplug and just talk and ask questions with your family. This week, I was just sharing about last week, question. This week, I had a father and son time. And we were talking. My son, the question again, Kale asked me, Dad, what was the worst thing you did on my age today? Wow! That's amazing. Then I shared something. They're so attentive. I can see it in their face that they're anticipating my storytelling. You know what, son? When I was your age, I skipped class. I climbed on the bubong ng restaurant, and then the tin, and then it's like a plastic one, and I almost dropped to the restaurant, and that's a kitchen, and in the huge walk there, I almost got cooked. Both of them, Nico and Kay, was just laughing. What, Dad? You did it? That's priceless moment, folks. I'm telling you, right? But prior to that, what did Nico say? They're just eating. We're just on the countertop. Nico said, Dad, no phone. Not there. Put it there. So I put it on the stairs, not on the countertop. Unplug, right? If you can, find one day free of screen. No, that's what you call Sabbath from screens. Sabbath from screens. Once a week, if you can. But if your work cannot, right, allow you to do that because you work in your phone, you work in your computer, it's okay. You just have to unplug once in a while, 1 hour a day or 1 day a week. What I learned is, if I don't unplug, if I don't withdraw, I get burnout. I remember the time Rohan said, Sweetie, your work is nothing compared to my work. I'm a nurse. I stand all the time. I have more than 10,000 steps. Your work, you're just sitting there in the computer. But you know what? I said, Sweetie, when you're in front of the computer for 7 to 8 hours, it's so draining. I said, oh. And that's true. It's like, if I will not withdraw, I feel like so restless. After the job, after your work in the office, restless. That's why in the office, after in the morning, let's go for coffee. We walk, grab some coffee. You need a break. You need to unplug. But the thing is, you go for a walk, but you still cell phone, right? So you have to leave your phone, withdraw, unplug yourself. Lastly, focus. Set your mind on things above. Like what I said, focus is not automatic. It's intentional. You have to choose what your mind dwells on. If I could suggest you replace scrolling with scriptures. Scriptures. Go back to standard Bible. If you're struggling today, go back. If you're disciplined enough, I can manage, I can handle it, it's okay. Stop scrolling, go to read scriptures. And then you meditate on that verse throughout the day. One verse, John 3:16, for God so loved the world. Wow, God, one whole day. Think about that. Meditate about that. Reflect about that verse. Okay? And then when you're distracted, redirect your thoughts. God, I'm distracted to this. I want to set my mind on things above. I want to set my mind on things that's eternal value. I want to set my mind on the things that will give me meaning and purpose in life. I don't want to set my mind on the things that are temporal. I don't want to set my mind on the things that will consume me and drain me. I want to set my mind on the things above. I want to set my mind on what's feeding my faith. And remember what I said in the first series of this message, first series this year, right? You can't control every thought that gets into your mind. You can't. But you can choose what thought you want to stay. So focus on things above. Thought about sexual immorality. Thought about pornography. Thought about hatred. Thought about unforgiveness. Thought about, it will come no matter what. You can't choose what thought comes last and all. But you can decide and choose what you want to stay. Now listen. This is not just about removing screen time completely. We are living in 2026, bro. My son would always say, tell me that. It's 2026, bro, I understand. Because there are benefits. There are benefits. Screen time is actually good for learning education. It will help you access to online courses. It will help you find some tutorial modules and materials and informations. Kids are learning math, like what I said about Kale, language, even accent, right? Adults will grow in their knowledge about what's going on. Then it will help you build connection, especially for long-distance relationship. We access our family, our parents, our friends, our loved ones in the Philippines or in whatever part of the world. We can stay connected because of screens, right? We are very close. Today, this part of generation, we were able to talk. Wow, amazing, no? My kids, my kids, my parents and my kids, they would love to talk, and that's really good. Productivity and work, I'm telling you, I need my computer. Before, I can do report, I can do my tasks. I can't imagine without the computer. Can you imagine? Your 1 month of work, you can do it in 1 hour. Because of what? Screen, laptop, computer. And those are great tools for work, and those are really helping us with our efficiency and productivity, right? I like my calendar in my phone. It helps me track our appointments throughout the week, right? Creativity and expression, those are good, right? Content creation, blog. Hello guys, welcome to my blog. And that's creativity. That's art, sharing ideas and talents. Mental health, break, and entertainment. That will help you, give you time to, okay, I'm so stressed at work, toxic environment, I need some break. I need to watch this. Oh, this is a funny video, right? Oh, there's a comedian here that gives me a healthy environment, healthy entertainment. And of course, spiritual growth. I'm telling you, if you use a screen properly, it will be a big factor with your spiritual growth. It helps me. I'm telling you. I make my messages because of screens, because of technology. And I make this to help you to help my message more engaging, more appealing, and more really people will understand it, will grasp it. I can't imagine if I'm using it manually. Can you imagine I'm talking here without this? You will all sleep. At least I will point you here, right? You should look at there. That help you awake and engaged, no? So the issue here is not screen time itself. The issue is what is controlling you. Where or what do you place your focus? That's why I said, focus yourself properly. Because the same tool that will build your life can also slow you down if left unchecked. Let me be very clear with you. Screens are not the problem. Uncontrolled screens are the problem. So my encouragement to you parents, control your kids. You have to be involved. Don't talk to me about privacy. If you really care for your kids, you have to know what they're watching. That's why I would spend time with parents. I would really ask them, what are your kids doing? They have their phone. Their phone can access to anything in this world. They can access pedophile. They can access pornography. They can access how to kill. They can access how to embalmer. They need us. They need us to guide them. That's why you have to be involved. Stop. Don't let your kids say, Dad, Mom, can you mind your business? Go out of this house. What I'm trying to say is you communicate with love. What I'm trying to say is be involved with your kids. And remember what I said earlier. The enemy doesn't need to destroy you. They can simply distract you. And if your kids are distracted, you need to intervene. You have to help them keep their focus properly. Now imagine, Imagine if you, personally, you wake up in the morning and instead of reaching to your phone, you reach out to God and just have a 5 minutes to 10 minutes quiet time. Imagine what your day would be. Imagine if your conversations are not interrupted with notifications and distractions, but filled with laughter, presence, and real connections. Isn't it amazing? I really hope and pray, guys, I'm telling you, do something with your relationship with your kids. Because we need to save the next generation. Imagine your children not just growing up entertained by screens, but growing up grounded. Grounded. At the age of 13, they know what to do in life. At the age of 16, they know what to pursue in university. And when they graduate from university, they know who they want to be with for the rest of their life. They know the kind of guy that they will entertain. They know the kind of girls that they will pursue. Imagine that. Imagine that. Because if you will not do something, at the age of 25, they don't know what they're doing. They're still searching. When they enter a teenager, they don't know their identity. I think I'm a dog. I think I'm a woman trapped in man's body. I think I'm a man trapped in a woman's body. I think I'm a cat. And that's what we're going to talk next week. Imagine if your kids are not entertained with screen, but grounded with principles and discipline. Imagine what this world could be. Imagine if your relationships, where people are not only heard, but they're also seen. Because they know that you're fully present, not with them, but your mind wander, thinking about what you watched prior or what you're going to watch. Imagine if your life, imagine a life where your mind is clear, no distractions. Your heart is steady, not anxious. And your spirit is very sensitive to God. Whew. Imagine the peace. So you have to do something. If you want that kind of life, if you want that kind of relationships, if you want that kind of family, if you want those kinds of kids, you have to do something, parents. Or else, we're losing. We will lose the next generation. The enemy doesn't need to destroy you if he can just distract you. So before we rush out of this room, I want us to all experience what it means to plug out. Before we rush out of this room, before you check your phones, what time is it? Before you sing, we sing our response song, B. Let's just stay still. And I want us to all do this. I want you to sit still. And in the next 3 minutes, just sit still. No music. I want you to sit still, B. Barry is so busy with us. But all of us, let's just sit still. For the next 3 minutes, I don't want us to do something. No music, no movement, no distraction. Just you and God. And before you close your eyes, I want you to ask these questions. God, what has been capturing my attention today? In that 3 minutes, between you and God, ask God, God, what has been capturing my attention today? And then you ask God, what do you want my focus to be? So I'll time us, and I'll close in prayer. Sit still. Close your eyes. And let's just listen to God. Now open your eyes. When was the last time you have that moment? Isn't it good? Wake up. I think you're sleeping. If we will not quiet our soul, we would never hear God. And I'm telling you, God has been waiting for you. Waiting for your attention. The sad thing is, screens are having our attention. God will speak if you will listen. But you have to unplug. And we have to show that to the next generation. Or else, we'll lose them. Let me ask you again. When was the last time you have that quiet moment? And I know you want it, as I want it. So my encouragement, this week, the moment you wake up, don't rush. Sit by the edge of your bed. Sit still. Just quiet your soul. let God speak. And He will help you keep your focus properly.